either. I've been kind of on that. Oh my God!
No, he's
hello, hello, everybody.
Nick, stop saying that stuff to me. You gotta stop that stuff. I can't. I'm like, no.
Yeah. Happy Tuesday, everybody. We're back.
Happy Tuesday.
Here. We're on time as always. We got Justin. Justin, hello.
Hello. How are you? Hi. How are you? How's it going?
I'm good. We got somebody else with us, as you guys can see down below.
In the corner.
This is Cody from his newly launched channel, DudeWhoLovesMovies. Cody, how the hell are you?
I'm good, everybody. How's everyone doing out there?
Doing great.
Yeah,
excited to be here.
Yeah, I've been talking about how I wanted to get you on here, and I was like, it's not hard to do. I was like, well, hey, what are you doing tomorrow? He was like, nothing. I was like, all right, well, come on with us. So
I appreciate it. Appreciate the invite.
No
Happy
problem.
to have you on here. So I like having guests on here. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. It's been a little bit, Justin, since we've had somebody.
Yeah. So
I gotta give credit.
Agree.
I gotta give credit to Rudy.
I can't keep seeing Nick's face everywhere.
I know. I gotta give credit to Rudy. He was like, "Hey, you guys should bring a guest on. It's been a while," and I was like, "You're right." So probably. We got what is it? 2.5. It's not even a full 2.5 weeks till Scream comes out. It's like
no. I gotta start marathoning.
16 days.
Because I'm gonna review them. So
you have your tickets, guys?
I do.
Not yet. I'm bad.
I do.
You know me. I don't do the pre-order tickets.
Did you do the are you doing the fan event?
Oh, I didn't know what this is.
What is this exactly?
It's like, so they're showing it in 3D, which I don't care about that, but you get a poster and you get to, it's like a 5 o'clock showing.
What? Whoa.
Yeah,
wow.
So it's a little earlier. But yeah, it's called the fan event showing. They did one last year too.
Is it like, are they showing like, and I'm just like, I'm a little exhausted from work. So is it like are they showing the last year's movie and then the new one, or
no, just this one?
Oh, just this one. Oh,
yeah.
nice.
And like last year at the fan event, they had like David Arquette and the writer and the directors after the movie talk on a live stream and answer questions and stuff like that. So I don't know if they'll do the same this year.
My showing is 6 o'clock. It was the earliest one that was showing at my theater on that Thursday.
I see.
You're going are you Eastern time?
No, I'm actually so I'm like I'm Mountain Standard Time, so it's probably going to end up being the same time.
Okay, what time is it where you are?
Right now it's 4 o'clock.
Okay,
4 p.m.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, so it will be the same time. Okay,
it should be about the same time. Yeah,
but getting the poster would be sick. What poster is it?
It's it's advertised as the poster of like it's Times Square and the knife in his face, like that new one.
I love that one.
I'm hoping it's that one.
Yes, and not the floating head poster.
I actually like that one. I ordered the original one of that.
I don't hate it. I don't, but I have seen a lot of people online being this is garbage.
I'm always going to defend the floating head posters that they came out in the 90s and the ones we get today. I'm like, you know what? That was my 90s. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like the floating heads. I like them. Okay.
Yeah. And it's cool because it has like the city lights in the back, the skyline in the background. Yeah. So I'm all about the skyline and stuff like that. Like the Jason Takes Manhattan poster. One of my favorites.
Love that movie. Love that poster.
Me too.
Yeah. I actually, the past few days, it had been years since I'd watched them. I watched Never Sleep Again, and I watched Crystal Lake Memories over the span of like 2.5 days.
Yeah.
And it was nice. But it kind of made me mad too, because I'm like, we still don't have one of these for Halloween. Like
I know.
We don't have a franchise spanning one. The last one was 25 Years of Terror.
Yeah, I have that one.
Yeah, and that one's fine, but I mean, we've got what, 5 more movies
since then.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's coming soon. It
I hope
has
they
to
do
be.
something.
It's one of the biggest franchises out there.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh no, you're fine.
Do you think it's like a rights issue because all the movies are like at different companies or like?
No, they were able to do it with. I mean, if they were able to do it with Friday the 13th, knowing what kind of legal situation that franchise is tied up in. True. No, I really just think it's like a matter of getting so many people together. You know what I mean? Like get all these interviews and whatnot. But I mean, you might as well do it now. You just had your trilogy end with Blumhouse. You know, everybody is, you know, aware of Halloween right now. It's at the forefront of everyone's memory. And also, some of these people are getting older, you know. So, Mark wants to know, is it a full size or a mini poster?
It's a mini poster you get for free.
Okay.
Awesome. So I think it's 11 by 17.
Okay.
Sweet.
Okay.
Sweet,
what's up, Garrett? All right,
hey, Garrett, what's going on?
Look, guys, tonight I thought this was just going to be kind of a BS, go back and forth situation. And we always do that because we tend to get off the rails here. But I kind of wanted to talk about, I was thinking about series and movies and characters that I was like, God, like, when is this movie or this series going to get its day again? So I was like, let's talk about movies that we want to see brought back, whether that's a reboot, a remake, a sequel, whatever. I mean, I put reboots out there as the title just because that is the most common like terminology used nowadays. But that's kind of, I really just want to hear from you guys, and I want to hear from the two of you, and I want to discuss that because I know there's some that I can think of.
I mean, I can think of some too, but I don't want to like turn away for a second. But like, Cody, talk about your channel first. Like,
okay, yeah. So it's a Dude Who Loves Movies on YouTube. I started a month ago. When's the 20th? It's today, the 20th. So yesterday was a month I started, and I have 4 videos up. I'm just learning what to do. So, you know, I did like a movie review. I did a get to know me. I have an unboxing. I have a haul. So I'm just, you know, growing my legs right now, seeing what works, what I like, what I don't. But yeah, I'm just a dude who loves movies, and I want to talk about movies, all kinds of movies. My favorite is horror, but I love 80s, 90s, and 2000s, all that stuff.
Sweet.
Yeah, as always, anytime that there's somebody on here with us, guys, always make sure to check out their channel. I was going to give you the floor, Cody, near the end of the stream.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's what I normally do near the end of the stream. I'm like, all right, like, tell everybody about you. But it's cool, Justin. You know, hey, it doesn't matter when it got done, and we were going to do it, and I appreciate you, Justin, for wanting to get that out there, because
so do I.
Cody just started up his channel. No,
I didn't want to forget. So,
Jaden, don't you start with me. Anyway, so let's just give it to Cody first. Give me a series or a movie. Just give me one you want to see come back.
So my number one was going to be I Know What You Did Last Summer. So I'm so happy that they announced it. But I would like Brandy to come back as well. I don't want them to recon the second one, because I love the second one.
High five, dude. Like, I'm giving you a high five because I love that movie too. So
yeah, I've got an original print coming on the way of I Still Know. But yeah, that movie gets a lot of hate, but I really do like it. But the third one, they can recon that one.
Oh yeah, that one can go away.
That
one's gone. Let's not.
Not a fan of the third one.
No, man, I'm not. He was a ghost, and it was not my thing.
It was, originally it was going to be called a different movie, and then they were like, well, let's just go ahead and try to make money off of I Know We Did Last Summer. And I'm like, it didn't work. You went straight to video.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with straight to video movies, but it sucked. So.
Yeah. And say what you want about the post Scream or the late 90s horror movies. I love those. That was my sweet age there, So I was I was a kid going into my teens just loving those movies. So I'm all about those movies.
How old are you, Cody?
I was born in 88, so I'm 34.
Okay. All right. So yeah,
88 here. Well,
same
Brian,
age. Yeah. And I'm just a few years off of that. So yeah, I mean, that era, the 90s, the post Scream era, that I have noticed that it's genuinely the people that lived it, that were at a young impressionable age, love it, and everybody else just either doesn't like it or just doesn't understand. They just don't get it. And I feel like music from that era is the same way.
It's very watered down if you kind of look at it compared to what we get now and to what we got back in the 80s. But it was just, I call it very CW, but it was just, it had this certain charm, and it was just, like I said, it hit at the right spot or the right age. And I ate it all up. I loved it.
Yeah. An entire decade that seemed like it was literally all influenced by Kevin Williamson. Everything was influenced by Kevin Williamson. Everyone was trying to capture, whether he was a part of it or not, they were all trying to capture that Scream magic, like every movie for 5, 6, 7 years. So now it's funny because I did grow up on those movies too. I've never been somebody that like adores that area, that era though, and that's simply just in my defense.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm not saying anything bad about you.
I know. I just because I know you love that era, and obviously I was a kid and then early teenager and stuff in that era too. So, but it was because I feel like ever since I was a small child, I was just brought up on the older stuff because of my mom. So even in the late 90s and early 2000s, I'm watching the stuff that's coming out, but I'm always ending up going back to like The Exorcist, Halloween, like, cause those were like my comfort movies. But yeah, I get that era because I lived it, and I understand why so many people love it. And I'm excited to see that movie brought back. I really, really am. I think that we're in a really good sweet spot right now for horror. And I was like, I mean, let's just get the elephant out right now. Where the fuck is A Nightmare on Elm Street? Like where is it at? Like,
this is a good placeholder, I feel like, just to keep people's appetites there, and then it can go on to the main event, which is going to be A Nightmare on Elm Street.
It's just crazy to me because it's like Justin and I have been talking for well over a year now on these streams when we talk about whether it was leading up to Halloween Ends or Halloween Kills or Candyman or whatever it might have been. Like, okay, we've got another 80s, 90s icon coming back. Scream's back. Chucky's got a TV series. We're like, okay, Nightmare's going to be coming. And then you could have never convinced me 5 years ago we would get a sequel to I Know What You Did Last Summer before a new Nightmare on Elm Street movie. You could have never convinced me of that. But here we are. And that's simply just because I don't know what the Craven estate is doing. I don't know if his kids aren't interested. I don't know.
I don't know, but I was gonna say with I Know We Did Last Summer, like I was kind of hoping like when the last Scream movie came out, like right away when that was a big hit, that we were gonna get that announcement. And I'm like, I guess we're never gonna get I Know We Did Last Summer again. And lo and behold, like we're getting one. And
Justin, they had to do the hit Amazon TV series first. Yeah.
I was gonna say that. See, that's one thing. I was like, man, if the TV show does well, will they make a movie? Or if they do the TV show and it doesn't do well, then they will scratch the movie. So I was just like, oh my gosh, I never watched the show.
It's bad. It's bad.
Is it?
I heard
yeah, it's not good. And I didn't even watch the whole thing. I watched, I think, 2 episodes of it, and I was like, this sucks. But that's a good thing though, because nobody liked it. Like it got horrible reviews. It didn't have good viewership, but it still didn't deter them from making a new movie, which is awesome because I wish more companies would do that. Experiment a little bit with different ideas before you just go, oh, you didn't like this one? Okay, we'll go away for 15 years. Like, no, like that's what Nightmare is doing right now. Oh, a lot of fans didn't like the remake. All right, we'll see you guys in 20 years. Like, what? No, try something different. Like, but Justin, you give me one that you want to see brought back. I know What You Did Last Summer would probably be near the top of your list.
Well, yeah, but lo and behold.
But since it's coming, yes.
I'm gonna go back to the 80s zone. I'm gonna go for a little underrated Wes Craven gem. Probably not the only one that I'm gonna talk about, but I'd like to see a really interesting reboot, but with practical effects, of course, of Deadly Friend.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Shocker. I thought you were gonna say
Shocker. I love Shocker, but no, Deadly Friend. Like I've always wanted that. Like I feel like they can do, if done right, they could do a great reboot of that because one, as much as I love the original movie, it is hokey as all be. Except for the ending, which I have you all seen Deadly Friend?
Yeah.
Okay. The ending, BB Christy Swanson like transforming into the robot. But yeah, I think that would be a great one. Like if I was a director and they're like, Justin, like, what's your first movie you want to direct? I'd say, bring on Deadly Friend because I think they can do a great reboot of that. And I'm all for, I don't mind the big movies getting remakes if they're done right, but like, those little unknown movies like Deadly Friend, not only can we remake the movie and do something different and bring in a new audience, but that new audience can go back and watch that original movie and see that campy charm of it. What I would like to do is kind of go away from like that campiness, even though I don't think they were trying to be campy. It wound up being campy, and I'd want to go more of a serious approach with it. So, but yeah, Deadly Friend, that would be one.
That is an interesting one to throw out at first, Justin. I got to give you some respect that I did not expect that. Dylan, really quick, I wanted to say we're not necessarily talking about remakes. This could be a legacy sequel, a requel, a reboot, whatever. Like, it doesn't have to be a remake. And I guess for me, the first one that I really want to talk about, aside from obviously the obvious of the Nightmare on Elm Street, is look. Jaden said it in the chat. I agree. I loved this movie when I was a kid. Scared the crap out of me when I was a kid. My family used to call me this when I was a kid because I had a big head and I had not hit my growth spurt yet. So my head was not proportionate to my body. And that's Pumpkinhead.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
I think you look at some of the creature designs that we can do nowadays with the technology we have, whether it's practical, it doesn't matter. Like some of these practical creature designs we're doing nowadays are incredible. Like, forget CGI. And I just think that is such a, like, I mean, the first person that comes to my mind when it comes to a movie like that, believe it or not, is somebody like, and I'm not saying he would do it, but I feel like it'd be perfectly in his wheelhouse, Guillermo del Toro. Like, a Del Toro Pumpkinhead, I think would just be like a match made in heaven. And whatever it might be, I want to see Pumpkinhead come back. I really love the first movie. I enjoy the second one. I don't remember anything else after that. How many are there?
There's 4, I think.
Yeah, there's like 4 or 5. But it's funny you say it because I remember watching the second one on cable, and I loved the second one.
I love it too.
And I haven't seen it since, so I have no idea. I can't remember anything about it. I remember it's called like Red Wings or something.
It was a movie, like it's I love campy charm, so it's campy and I love it. But like when I first saw that movie, I had seen that one before the first movie, and I just so happened to see it on Sci-Fi, and it scared me. And I was like, "What is this movie?" Pumpkinhead was terrifying.
Pumpkinhead for a child is terrifying. Absolutely. Really quick, Sean Sheridan, thank you so much for the super chat. I'm going to ask the whole panel. We're all going to give our answer here. Who would you like to see play Freddy if a reboot ever happens?
Oof, I don't know.
I'm still in the camp of, look, if you're going to do it, I think one of two things is going to happen because it's going to come back eventually. And either one, I think the most obvious route they're going to go is legacy sequel to the original. Heather comes back and Robert comes back, and it's going to be a way to tie a knot on Robert as Freddy. I think that is what's going to happen. And Heather, and she's been talking about it in multiple interviews over the past few months. So, and I reached out to Brad at Bloody Disgusting, and he said that is what he had been hearing too. So that is probably going to happen, but that's going to ignore Dream Warriors. And I know that'll piss a lot of people off. I don't really care because they ignored Halloween 2 and Halloween H2O with this new trilogy. So, whatever. But, but if I had my way, it's got to be somebody unknown, like Bill Skarsgård was with Pennywise. If you're going a new route, do not put a face that people know behind there.
I got to find somebody. Yeah, I got to look.
Cody, do you have anyone?
Cody.
I mean, if they're going to go with a big name, then I would say Kevin Bacon. Or like even a Nicolas Cage. I know he'd be like, but I can see him doing it well. But like you said, it would be better to have an unknown.
Okay, hold on real quick. I'm gonna just pull up his picture, and he's got a little tie-in with the franchise already. But this guy is so good. I think he's a great actor, and I loved his last movie he was in. Y'all ready for this? Kyle Gallagher.
You mean Kyle Gallner?
Yeah.
He was in the remake.
Well, hear me out.
Justin wants him to be Freddy.
Yeah, hear me out with this.
I'm hearing you.
He is any movie I've seen him in, especially now. Like I look at movies like Scream or Smile, or he was on a really popular TV show. Like, he is one of those actors that you can cast him in any role, and I think like he wouldn't be typecast, or he wouldn't be just that face you see in a whole bunch of movies. Like, he is a method actor, and I could see him transform into Freddy. Like that would be good. And he's one of those names where you know him, but like he's still pretty fresh to where he can tackle on Freddy, and I would be totally on board with it.
I've got to address something in the chat. Alexis, I didn't say Kevin Bacon because just like Robert, he's up there in age, and I feel like if they're going to reboot Nightmare and try to build a new, linear line of films from it, you would want somebody younger and somebody that could really grow into the role. But if it was a one-off, yeah, Kevin Bacon would be awesome. Like he would have been perfect for the remake. Although I have always liked Jackie O'Haley. I think that he did a great job, and I just think that the script wasn't the best. But that's not his fault. He did a great job with what he had. So even if they came back and said we're doing a new Nightmare movie and Jackie O'Haley's coming back, but it's not a sequel, I'd be down with it. Like I absolutely would, because I liked him. I really did.
Yeah.
What about someone like Ben Foster? Do you know?
Oh, yes.
What is he in?
He's like an alpha dog.
Alpha dog. Oh yeah.
Oh,
he hostage. He's a great bad guy.
That's a good one. Oh yeah. That's
yeah. He was in Hell and High Water too.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, like there are so many people, and that's the crazy thing too. Is like I remember back in 2016 when they announced Bill Skarsgård for It. I was like, who? What? Like. To take on Pennywise? Like, I don't know. And then I'm like, oh my God, this guy's eating up the scenery. I love it. So I'm open to whatever. Just don't come back at me and be like, oh, so we've cast Roseanne Barr as Freddy Krueger. I'd be like, all right, well, I don't know how that's going to work. But all right, Cody, give me another one.
I'm sorry, what? Oh, did you say me?
Yeah.
So I would love them to, since we're on the Kevin Bacon train, I'd love them to do a legacy sequel to Tremors. I know they tried in 2018 with a TV show, and it was just never picked up. But the trailer looked really awesome, and it's hard to believe that it was something nobody wanted to move forward with. So that's something I would love to see, is Kevin Bacon go back to my favorite Kevin Bacon movie.
I wouldn't put it past them to do that sooner rather than later. I remember the Tremors back when I was a kid in the 90s. That was such a cult classic. Tremors was like the first one, and it's that's where I was introduced to Kevin Bacon. I don't even think I'd seen Friday the 13th yet. So yeah, that's a good pick. That's a good pick. All right, Justin, your turn.
I just had it on my mind. Let's see. Oh, what was it? Oh, I'm a huge John Carpenter's Prince of Darkness fan. It's like it is like top 5 John Carpenter movies, and his scariest movie, in my opinion. And I don't want to reboot. I don't want to remake. I would love for them to do a sequel to it, and it could take place, honestly, it could take place in present time, or when did the dream sequence where you see like the figure come out of the church. I think it took place in 99 or something like that. I can't remember the year. But
yes. It was late 90s.
You can have it take place then. But I've always wanted to know, at the end of that movie, or towards the end of that movie, when, the actor reaches his fingers to the mirror, what happened? Did it,
would you want Carpenter back if you could have your way? Would you want him back?
I would love him to come back. Yeah. I mean,
I think he needs. I want him to direct one more movie. I really do.
I want him to direct one more movie, and I would. You know what? I actually would not be opposed to a miniseries too. Like if they decided to go the miniseries route with that would be great because you could do so much with that, or a movie. But yeah, I would love Carpenter to come back. I think that is. I mean, it's getting a fan base now, but it was very underrated. I still think it's pretty underrated, compared to a lot of other Carpenter movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to see them tackle something within Prince of Darkness again and see where they can go with that. Because you can go anywhere with that and have the same theme and it could take place in a different city, a different state. Have a different story with it, and you can have kind of like with that movie, you had Donald Pleasance and you had some other familiar faces, but you can get upcoming actors, and then you can get some well-known ones in there, but you can do a really good job with that. And if Carpenter didn't want to come back and direct it, like I would love for him to at least do the music. And,
no, I think he would.
I mean,
I think he would if they did that.
Prince of Darkness is such a good one. I wish, that's something where I would love for them to, again, not remake it or reboot it, but bring on another sequel. So technically a reboot, I guess.
Hey, and I wanted to leave this comment up because Rudy, I wholeheartedly agree. I have talked to Christian about this. I don't like any of the Children of the Corn films. I don't like any of them. The first one is watchable. The second one, I don't like any of them. I really don't. I think that is a series that has never gone from page to screen well, in my opinion.
My favorite Children of the Corn movie is actually part 2. That is
maybe I need to rewatch them, but
that's a lot of people's favorite. Is the second one.
Well, it's campy. Don't get me wrong, it's campy, and there's some like questionable CGI for early 90s, but like I love the first 2, and I think 4 with Naomi Watts was a pretty good movie. After that, they're kind of hit and miss. Like, I'm not a fan of Urban Harvest. I know
Alexis likes it,
but I rewatched it maybe a year and a half ago, and I got the Arrow trilogy box set, and I was like, oh, this one doesn't hold up very well at all. Like, it's one I used to love, and now I don't really love it too much anymore.
Well, maybe I'll go back and rewatch them. I know that new trailer that dropped for the new one, surprisingly, that trailer doesn't look awful. Like, did you guys watch that trailer?
I haven't seen
it.
No,
I did.
It looks competently made. That's what I was knowing that it's been sitting on a shelf for like 2 years. I was shocked to watch that trailer and go, this doesn't look like a dumpster fire. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe
that's just gotta, but I would be down for, I'll watch it. I'm a Children of the Corn fan. So,
well, I guess
Naomi Watts has done some really good movies, but she's done some bad.
Yeah. Well, my next one that I want to talk about, I definitely want to hear your guys' opinions on this because I don't think most people talk about this one. This one's kind of a little bit out there because
I'll say, Alexis, it's definitely not a terrible movie. Urban Harvest, just not a big fan of it.
But yeah, so like, no, you're fine. The next one that I would like to see come back, but I have some parameters. I would want the original actor back. I don't care about age. Don't care. And I want somebody to take it seriously. And that is Leprechaun.
That's on my list as well. Yeah.
I would love that. I can't remember what filmmaker was it a couple years ago that said on Twitter that they wanted to do it, but only if Warwick Davis came back. Mm-hmm. Who was that? Do you guys remember?
I can't remember, but it's kind of a bigger name.
Yeah, it was a bigger name.
Somebody well respected in horror.
Yeah, somebody let us know in the chat if you know who said that they said they had said they'd been pitching it to was it Jason Blum maybe saying to get the rights and that they would want to come back and bring but only if Warwick Davis came back. I can't remember who said that I think they were talking about how they had been talking to Jason Blum or somebody about wanting to do that. But I'd love to do that because look, as campy as that series is, and boy is it, the first movie from when I was a kid was really freaky. Yeah, it was really freaky.
Terrified me as a kid.
And Warwick Davis is just like literally perfect in the role. There's just so much. Like we talk about people like Paul Rudd doing Halloween 6 or Adam Scott doing Hellraiser Bloodline. Watched that right before we came on here.
Did you? I love that movie so much.
I love that movie too. And but then you look at Jennifer Aniston doing Leprechaun. So it's like I really, really want to see that. I don't know. How do you guys feel?
So it was originally supposed to be more serious, but it was Warwick Davis that made it more campy. So hopefully if they hear that it's going to be a serious movie, he would want to do it because they've tried to get him back. They really wanted him back for Returns and he wasn't ready.
Okay.
I got to tell you, I'm a big fan of Returns though. I think like that is.
I never saw it because
you never saw it.
Well, they did the reboot Origins and that got trashed online. Horrible. Everybody said it was terrible.
Terrible.
So
movie.
then a few years later they do Returns and I'm like, yeah, no thanks, because I left a sour taste in my mouth.
It's pretty good.
Give it a watch. For me, it's my second favorite after the original movie. Like, and I love 2. Like, I'm a big fan of 2, but I love Leprechaun Returns. I feel like the director, and he directed some really good movies before that, and I think something after, but he really put a lot of love and heart into it, and it was a
Psycho Gorman.
Yes, Psycho Gorman.
Yeah.
But yeah, he did a great job, like making his own movie, but paying respect to that original. And the actor who played Leprechaun did a really good job. Like,
yeah,
you know,
I watched the trailer,
Davis, but
I did watch the trailer. I watched the trailer and I was like, this doesn't look terrible. Maybe I'll watch it tonight when we get done here. I don't know. We'll see. I've been thinking about that, or honestly, I was thinking about watching Pumpkinhead. Not gonna lie, because I haven't watched that movie in years. But Cody, what's the next one that you've got?
Yeah. First of all, I just want to ask: is there any love for Leprechaun 3? That's my favorite one.
I do love Leprechaun
when they're in Vegas.
I love
that's the
that's
last one. That's the last one that I say is decent. After 3, it went way off the rails.
So So I didn't watch Back to the Hood, the second him in the Hood for years until like 2 years ago, and I watched it and it wasn't bad. Like the third act is a legit third act. Like he's
talking about the second. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah,
you,
Back to the Hood.
Like
Back to the Hood.
Back to the that was good. I remember.
Yeah, where he gets like messed up at the end. You know, like they kind of treat him like he's Chucky. You know, so like from the third act to the end, I was like, this is a solid movie that no one's gonna watch. But the other ones, it's like 4 in Space. That one's kind of hard to get through.
Dude, I got the Blu-ray set of all the movies at Walmart last year for $11.99.
Yeah.
All the movies. I was like, well, it was crazy because a lot of those movies in that series aren't very good. But I looked at it and I was like, I like the first 3. So even if I just justified it that I'm buying it for the first 3 on Blu-ray, it was only $12. Like, how could I say no? So but Cody, you got another one?
Yeah. So Leprechaun was going to be one of them. So another one is going to be probably, they're already remaking it, but so I was in film school and I had to write a treatment for a movie I wanted to write. And so I wrote a 10-page treatment on a sequel to Arachnophobia.
Oh, sweet.
And I wanted it to be like, like none of the characters would come back except for like towards the end, they'd call up John Goodman's character because he's been through, and then it would take place in like in a grocery store. So there'd be like these, these practical effects, of course, them going through a grocery store, because I used to work at a grocery store in like the produce section, and like I worked all over the place in the grocery store, but I once worked in the produce section, and like when you grab the banana boxes, sometimes they'll say like beware of tarantulas or stuff like that, and that's where I got the idea. So somewhere out there I have like a 10-page treatment for Arachnophobia 2 that I think would be awesome.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, Cody, screw you, because I've talked many times that I love that movie and I hate that movie because I'm arachnophobic. And that movie, it does something to me that like no other spider movie has ever been able to do to me, to like literally get under my skin to the point where like now, ever since I was a kid, when I watched that movie, I hate closing my eyes in the shower to rinse my hair. I
look before you sit on the toilet.
Yep, always. Like it's just stuff like that, and it's because of that fucking movie. Like,
I have to check my popcorn. I have to check the cereal. It's still, and so when people tell me like, "Oh, it's a comedy," I was like, I was not laughing during that movie, and I still still freaks me out.
The most terrifying scene of that movie is when the queen is crawling up him. And like I've said many times, as arachnophobic as I am, I genuinely feel like I would be just like him. I'd just be in shock and I could not move. Like I wouldn't know what to do. Like fuck that movie. But I love that movie. But so
do I. But in my first video, I actually talk about arachnophobia, and I was like putting in not clips, but I was putting in like little pictures of the movie, and I was like, I don't want this on my search history, like no spiders. So I was like, all right, I'll have one of the spider, and the rest will be
my buddy used to mess around on his laptop and would make his background a picture of a spider, like a tarantula or whatever, and we'd like be over at his house, he'd be on the computer, and then when we'd be done, he'd like exit out and it would just be this giant spider, and I'd be like, what the dude, like nah, I can't stand it. Justin, give me another one.
So I'm a big Witchboard fan, if you know. And I wrote a fan sequel that was gonna, be a continuation. I love the second one, but it was gonna be a continuation of the first movie. And rest in peace to the beautiful Tawny Katane. She was gonna be back in it. She was gonna be not necessarily the lead character in the movie, but her character was gonna come back, and she was going to help somebody else who came across a board and who was, slowly, becoming terrorized and possessed by a Ouija board. And it was going to be, again, a sequel to that movie. It was going to be, my love for not only the first movie, but the second one, because I'm a big fan of both of them. But it was going to be a Witchboard sequel. And it was going to be, creepy and scary and go back to that what I feel is like a pretty scary movie still today. The first movie, adding that original like haunting score that's in it. But yeah, that was a script that I had like a long time ago, and so I would love to see them do something with the Witchboard. I know we had Ouija, but yeah. Witchboard is something I'd like for them to tackle. So
it's pretty cool.
I haven't watched that movie in a long time.
I actually watched it for the first time after Tawny Katane died.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah, that was my first time watching it. I've never even heard of it. And then I saw it pop up somewhere. I was like,
Did you like it?
I did like it. Yeah, I didn't see the sequel.
Scary. It's scary. Like there's some scary stuff in it. Like I keep interrupting you. I'm so sorry. You're gonna know this.
No.
I'm a talkative. I talk a lot.
You're fine, man.
But it's a scary movie. Like every time I watch it, there's certain moments in that film that freak me out. Like one of the scenes is when they bring over Zarabeth, and they're doing the psychic, where the spirit's going through Zarabeth, and they're in the apartment, and the lights are all down, and you have candles around, and that scene always creeped me out. Then you have, the death of Zarabeth, when you see you don't see the spirit, but you see like the camera following her, and you have Bump of the Night playing in the background. And then like the scene when I rewatched it back in 2006, because I'd seen it originally on VHS, renting it. And when I rewatched it back in 2006 after like 10 plus years, it still gets me today. It's the scene where Tawny Katane's character is having a dream sequence in a hospital, and she's hearing her voice. She's hearing a voice call her name, and she's going around this dark hallway, and she turns a corner and she sees, her reflection, but it has like that jump scare moment. And she turns around and you see the main villain there and like whacks her head off. And that terrified me as a kid. And it still creeps me out today when I watch it. So
she's not in the second one, correct?
No, she's not. So, but the second one's good. If you've never seen it, go watch that one. That Kevin Tenney directed it, came back to direct the sequel, and there is a tie-in. I don't want to give anything away, but there is a tie-in to that first movie. So.
Well, one that I've been thinking about this one, and I just look. I don't understand why some people can say like, oh, you know what? We've got the first two. That's fine. Leave it alone. I'll never understand that line of thinking, because that doesn't mean that another movie can't be good. I mean, how many series do we know where a third movie in a series is really damn good and we love it? Like, just because it's a sequel doesn't mean it can't be good. So having said that, and also I have OCD and I don't like when things end on two. I literally can't.
Same.
Oh, dude, it just kills me. Like, obviously, this is not the one I'm going to mention, but I just want to throw out there really quick. Obviously, this is why they need to finish Happy Death Day, make a third one, and I will not stop until they make a third one. But the one I want to mention is Gremlins.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Just a missed opportunity. It's been, 30 years, and there have been so many stops and starts. And I know a lot of people, immediately the first thing they go to is like, oh, no, it would be CGI and it would be shit. I don't think it would be CGI. I think if they did a third movie,
not anymore, wouldn't it be?
Yeah, no, they were gonna. I think they would make sure that it'd be practical.
If it was 10 years ago, yes, but now I don't think so. I think they're past that.
But I think I think they should do it because the first
So do
two
I.
movies I think are classics in their own right, obviously.
Mhm.
And it's just like it's one of those movies. Like Gremlins is one of those movies that is so marketable just based off of nostalgia alone. Everybody knows who Gizmo is. Everyone, even if you haven't
Yeah.
seen those movies when you're a little kid, there was a Gizmo in your house. I don't care who you were. There was a damn Gizmo in your house.
Yeah.
And yeah, Gremlins 3, where's it at? Let's do it. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Especially since the
I'm
second one,
down with that.
like the second one was hated, and now all of a sudden it's loved again. I loved the second one my whole life, and now people are starting to love the second one. And they had that Mountain Dew commercial, so it was like, oh, and people love that Mountain Dew commercial, and it was hilarious. And it's just like, man, why are we not doing this? And instead, they're doing like a HBO Max cartoon of the Mogwais. So again, it's like, okay, well, if that does well, they're gonna be okay. Well, let's just keep doing the cartoons. Or if that fails, will they do the movie? So it's just, I don't know how I want the show to be perceived. I don't know if I want it to do well or not.
Oh yeah, I hear you. It's that dilemma. It's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like you don't want to see it fail, but at the same time, I think most of us would agree, being movie fans, we always want to see our favorite movies in the theater. Like we want, like that's what we want. Like when you get relegated to the small screen, it's almost like I feel like that's why a few months ago when they announced Crystal Lake, like there was a lot of people that were like, I don't know though. This doesn't it's not as exciting. Like we're gonna watch it, but how much better would it have been if they would have come out and been like, Friday the 13th, here's the release date. It's coming into theaters. Like I feel like you almost your brain defaults to disappointment if it's not a theatrical experience. I don't know.
No, I agree.
I agree. I agree with you.
I love the theatrical experience.
Me
I think
too.
it's great.
But Justin, give us another one, my friend.
Okay, so I'm here to see people in the comments say no more remakes, but I think I've talked about this in the past, like especially after the remake we did get. I would not be opposed to them tackling not necessarily a straightforward remake, but Poltergeist. And this is how, and I wrote a screenplay. It was going to be a two-parter.
No, you couldn't do a sequel. Carol Ann's dead.
Well, here's the thing. It was going to be a remake, but it was going to be a different spin on it. And it was going to be a two-parter. So part one was actually going to be, the Freelings moving in this house, and their son Robbie was going to be the one when he was 5 that had these supernatural happenings to him. And, it was going to be its own movie, its own idea. And Carol Ann wasn't even born. Like, she was Mrs. Freeling. She was pregnant with Carol Ann, but she was not even the center focus child in this. And so Robbie was going to be the first one that encountered it. And in that movie, they didn't know what it was. Like they didn't know they had moved into a house where there was a cemetery down below it. They didn't know any of that history. So that was going to be its own movie. And in the second movie, it was going to jump 5 years later. And now Carol Ann is the one that's being attacked, and she's the one being terrorized. So it was going to be a two-parter movie. The first part was all going to be Robbie's story and what happened with him. And then as you get into the second one, that's where you're going to dive into, Carol Ann. And what I didn't like about the remake was they had the potential to do something really good.
And then they didn't.
Yeah, they crammed everything into 90 minutes.
It's one of the. I wouldn't say it's one of the. Okay,
it's not really good.
No, well, I'm trying to choose my words here wisely because, competently made, yes. So, you can't say technically it's one of the worst, but it's one of the worst remakes for me because it is so uninspired and fucking boring and just a retread.
Yeah.
And I think it was just it came out at a time where I think remakes were kind of dying off. No one really cared for them, and they were like, well, let's remake Poltergeist. And I rewatched it back in September because every once in a while, for some reason, I like to go back and rewatch it for I don't know why. And the first like half of the movie, I'm like, okay, isn't that awful? Not great, not awful. And then you get to like the third act, and I'm like, okay, now this is the reason why I don't like this movie is because everything that I love about the original, like with the bodies coming out of the ground and all that suspense there, and you know, Mrs. Freeling falling into the pool and like all the skeletons popping up, like they did that horribly in the remake. And like that is why for me, I wrote, you know, a 2-parter movie, and it was going to be something new with Robbie being attacked. And then part 2 was going to be, they thought they were safe, but now Carol Ann's being, you know, sucked into this. So,
well, Justin, you're going to get your way soon enough. I'm sure they'll tackle Poltergeist again. I know that'll happen in the near future because, yeah, just an iconic franchise. And one of my favorite, one of the movies that scarred me as a child. That movie scared the shit out of me.
The face ripping scene. Oh gosh, like it's cheesy now. Like you can tell.
When I was a kid, the scene that scared me the most, believe it or not, like a lot of people will say, you know, the clown attack or the face ripping scene, like stuff like that. Nah, for me, it was the ghostly apparition coming down the stairs when everyone's watching. Oh God, just absolutely terrified me.
The scene that terrifies me, you don't even see anything. It's just the way Zelda Rubinstein's character Tangina is.
Yes, Rudy. Yes, that was real. That is true.
Yeah, where she's describing Carol Ann in this light and the spirits that are around her, and at first she's like really sweet and she's talking to him, and then she says, "Now, hold on to something. There's something evil in this house. I don't know what happened, but I was able to punch a hole and take your daughter." I know the lines.
She scared me when I was a kid.
Oh my gosh. And she says, what does she say? To her, it's just a child. Mm-hmm. But to us, it is the beast. And like you hear that music. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. I get giddy with stuff like this, but man, that scene scares me.
So okay, so Justin wants Poltergeist. Cody, what's another one you got?
I would like a remake because I like the first one, but I don't love the first one. And it would be Dolly Dearest. I would like a remake to that because the doll design was so good. Yeah. It's second next to Chucky, or behind Chucky, not next to Chucky, behind Chucky. But it was such a good looking doll, but the story fell flat. And I think it would be cool if they redid it with kind of the same design.
That's good. I like that one.
Yeah, no, see, you guys are throwing out some interesting ones that I didn't even think of. And now I'm like, well, shit. Okay, so I didn't make a list because this was very impromptu. So I'm kind of looking over now at the shelf. I'm trying to think about what I would like to see brought back. Okay. No, that wouldn't work. I'm not doing it.
Say it. We want to know.
No. That it's not as sacrilegious like saying Jaws. If you say Jaws, dear God,
I will cry.
And nobody will want that remake. Nobody. And then when it'll eventually happen, probably after Spielberg dies, because didn't he say as long as he's alive, there's no way they're remaking it? Don't be surprised if like a month after he's dead, they're like Jaws remake. Okay, one that I want to see brought back, but I'm sorry, I've watched the one from 2004. I've watched the sequel. I didn't watch the direct to DVD third one, and then there was another reboot a few years ago that was terrible. I don't know what it was. The only movie, well, actually, let's just do both. There's only one good movie out of all of these in both of these series, and I'm talking about the American versions, and that is The Ring. I don't like any of the Grudge movies. When I was a kid, I thought I liked the first Grudge movie. I went back and rewatched it 2 years ago, and I literally was like, this is not good. Like, this is just not good, and I don't know why I liked it when I was a kid. Let's just say J-horror in general, but specifically, I would love to see a sequel to The Ring, one that's actually good. And I would love to see a faithful, good adaptation of The Grudge, because I don't think we've gotten that either, personally. And in that one from 2020, I had high hopes for. Lin Shaye was in it. What Damian Bashir was in it. Like I was like, okay, there's some actors in here I know. It's more modern, so maybe it'll be a little creepier, and it just was not at all, in my opinion. And then The Ring is just, I love The Ring. That movie just, I've told the story on here many times about how I didn't look at Samara's face at the end when her hair parts when she comes out of the TV until I was like 20. Because it just, every time when I was a kid or a teenager, when I'd watch it, as soon as they're about to show her face, I'd look away. It just scared me. That first movie is incredible. The Ring 2, they really tried some new things, and it was very, very weird. I didn't like it. Also, I just don't like the kid, Aiden. I did not want him to be the focus of the movie. And then Rings was just late 2010s garbage. Like
I'm not even gonna. You know what? I'm gonna admit this. I like that one. I like it, but you know
but even if you like, but even if you like it, like even if it's a guilty pleasure, like looking back on The Ring, like why have we not had a worthy follow-up after that? You know what I mean? That movie was so thought-provoking and so scary, and then
it's still terrifying.
Yeah, I have to rewatch it because I did not like it when I saw it.
Oh, it scared the shit out of me.
It was one of those things where it's like it was me and my friends. It was a Halloween night. We wanted to go see Jackass, the first Jackass in theaters.
Yeah,
it was sold out, and we had somebody's parents there buying tickets, and they're like, the only thing they're like, sorry, Jackass is sold out all night. I was like, dang. They're like, but there's The Ring. So I went in there with a bad attitude. I was like, I don't want to watch this. So I need to rewatch it because I haven't watched it since that because I always think about not being able to see Jackass that day.
Damn, I would have.
Yeah, I've been there with movies. I'm like, I don't like this, and then I rewatch. I'm like, this actually pretty good.
Justin, have you seen the 2000? Have either one of you guys seen the 2020 Grudge?
No, and I don't care.
I just saw the first one.
I love the first one. I still love it. It's hokey, but I love it.
I might have a digital code. If it still works, I'll give it to one of you guys, and you can suffer through it. Because I told myself I wasn't going to buy the movie, and then 2 years ago for Christmas, my wife got it for me as a gift because she knew. I told her, I said, I will not buy that. So you want to get it for me as a gift, and that way, if I hate it, I don't feel bad about buying it. So I got it as a gift, watched it, and said, no, dog shit. Like, it's not good.
The only thing I know is like my friend Doug went to go see it in theaters. He was like, somebody paid $5 for me to go see this with him. And he told me about the movie, and he said, and Justin, he's like, I don't remember the name of the character. He said, but all I remember is Jackie Gleason's character is this realtor or somebody who goes to Lin Shaye's house. he said, I just came up with this name. He's like, but she's like, Mrs. Spears, your husband needs to go to the hospital. I was like, is her name Mrs. Spears? He's like, no. He's like, but that's kind of what it sounded like.
Listen, Justin, I will tell you guys this. There is one redeeming quality in that movie, and there's a scene of Lin Shaye like chopping her fingers off in the kitchen, like on a cutting board or whatever, which is like pretty cool. Aside from that, it's god awful. But
is it rated R?
Yeah, it's rated R.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, it's rated R, but it's just not. I think the thing about it is it's just not scary. Oh fuck, Christian's here. God damn it. Anyway, no.
I love you, Christian. I don't know. Nick's little. Just kidding.
What? He came in to pop in for 5 seconds, and then he's gonna go back to watching. I don't know, some Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Freddy's dead.
Freddy's dead. Yeah. Justin, what's another one you got?
I would like them to do, because I love this movie. We talked about like early 2000 slasher movies, which some of them are my favorites. House of Wax sequel would be pretty awesome.
Okay, now let me ask. So you're going to be specific. You want a sequel to that 05 movie, right?
05, yeah. No, 05.
Okay.
That's what it was. Okay. Yeah, like I saw that movie in theaters. It was really sad because I saw that movie in theaters. I think there was like 3 other people in the theater at the time, and it was opening weekend. And I just remember like the build up to this movie was awesome. They had the MTV TV show where they
didn't it do pretty well though, Justin? Like, no, I thought it did.
Bombed.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is I saw it probably the Friday it came out, and I was in a sold out theater.
Were you? Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, if it was, it might have been a modest hit, but I think for me, it was people, I think at the time, and I will defend her always.
Paris Hilton.
Paris Hilton. People were like, oh, Paris Hilton in a movie, and she's damn good in this movie. Like, she's really good.
She's a good sport too.
It's one of my
favorites. Damn good in this movie. Like,
yeah, she's a good sport.
She is, and I love the Scream Factory Blu-ray. Her coming back, talking about like how like, you know, she was game for the running sequences and like, you know, the practical effects. Like, she really put a lot of heart into this movie. So it always made me sad, like when people criticized her for that, like especially when it came out. But she's damn good in it. Like, she's got one of my favorite chase scenes. The best death in the movie. She talked about loving making that death scene and like, you know, all the practical effects that went into it. But the
guy from Cousin Skeeter was in it with her. Wasn't he her boyfriend?
Yeah. Yes. Oh man, you remember that show? That's so good. But I really love that. I love the promotion of the movie. I love the fact that, like, you know, when they were coming out with it, they went to a wax museum and they had a Paris Hilton like wax figure based on the movie, and they really put a lot of heart.
How many people you think tried to take that wax figure home? Bunch of weirdos, you know.
Probably.
Like, hey, can I take
hope
this?
It's like not like destroyed. Like, I hope they didn't like melt it or anything. Like, I was hate that they would do stuff like that.
I mean, a sequel to that movie would be awesome. That was a movie
I would love it.
I've always had a soft spot for. Yeah.
Well,
franchise horror reviews, I have to say really quick, before this comment gets lost, that is a damn solid list. But I will always maintain that I get a stick up my ass whenever people refer to Evil Dead 2013 as a remake, just because, based off of what the filmmaker said, Sam Raimi said, it is in universe. It is in universe. Yeah. It is not a remake. They have said that the events with Ash have already happened. Now I know I'm not like coming at you. I get it. Everybody like just, you know, considers it a remake. Like, absolutely. But I just get to stick up my butt about it because I'm like, no, it's not, damn it. But Reboot, absolutely. And a fantastic one. Probably my favorite one ever. But yeah, just get to stick up my butt with that. I don't know how you guys are about that. I just, you know.
I'm like, you know, people say it's a remake. I'm like, yeah, I think it, and the reason why I kind of like shake it off sometimes is because that was, again, the time period where we had so many remakes come out.
No, it's not fans' fault for saying
no.
It's these websites and the pundits and stuff that like put it on these lists and include it to where now in the zeitgeist people just consider it a remake, and I'm like, it's not though. And so yeah, but I totally hear you. And yes, Apollo, it did get leaked. I don't know.
I'm not.
But I can tell you that there has been a guy on my videos over the past week that keeps commenting the ending on purpose on my videos, and every time I see that he has commented, I don't even look at the comment. I just remove it, and I keep blocking user from channel, but he's still been able to comment. So don't know what YouTube's doing there.
And I hate. Well, I'm going to call his ass out. I don't know who he is, but I bet he's like, I know the ending.
His screen name is Adam. His screen name is just Adam.
Well, he's like, I know the ending, and I'm like, you probably think you know the ending, or you bring it.
No, he does. It's the ending that leaked online. Well, it leaked on Twitter like a week or two ago, and luckily got taken down. But a bunch of people now are getting their rocks off by trying to spoil it for other people because
why do people do that stuff? That
sucks.
I look at your Scream poster, Cody, which I love that poster so much.
Thank you.
And I think of like the time period then. I wish we can go back. I know I'm going to be like, I wish we can go back in time, but
back in my day.
I wish we can go back in time to where when that movie came out, internet was a very little thing. Mm-hmm. You did not have these fan pages. You didn't have like all like, Instagram and I guess MySpace or Yahoo back then. Mm-hmm. You didn't have any of that. And like you went into that movie and the opening scene with Drew Barrymore was a total surprise for people because no one expected it because there was no links. There was no, we're leaking this out. Oh, did you hear the news? Like, this was like a movie that came out and shocked everybody because we didn't have what we have today.
I'm going to tell you guys right now, based off of what we experienced with the last two movies, I don't know what they have to do, but Scream 7, because I know this one's going to do really well. It's projected to actually do better than the last one. So there will be a 7th movie. I don't know how they have to do it, but you have to, I mean, the final cut of that movie, if I'm the filmmakers for the next movie, I shoot 3 different endings, like straight up. I shoot multiple different endings, and I only let a handful of people know what the real ending is. And I don't picture lock the movie till like 2 weeks before, like dead serious, because that way, if something leaks, you can go, you don't know that's the real ending. You have no idea.
Yeah.
So, I guarantee you they're working on something like that for this one.
Because especially with everything we've heard about a sequel to this one, obviously the belief is that Nev would probably come back. Obviously, a lot of people are wondering, is there going to be something that ties into Stu? And even if it's not Stu, don't forget, guys, Leslie Mocker has been mentioned and is alive, Stu's sister. Like, somehow this is going to tie back in with the 7th movie, because I know it'll be Nev's last movie. Like, I know for a fact, like, that'll be it. And there's going to be it's going to be like Scream 3 level kind of reveal.
I love Scream 3.
And that reveal at the end that tied all 3 of those movies together. I think it's going to be something like that. And you really don't want that spoiled. Like, you really don't. So, but anyway, we got off topic. Cody, what's another one that you've got?
Honestly, I don't know. Oh, actually, yes. I would love a sequel to the original My Bloody Valentine.
Oh, I was going to say that's so awesome. Yay.
Or even the remake. They were both
Or
good.
the remake, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
I wouldn't mind a sequel to either one of them, to be honest with you.
I was going to say, you're tugging at Justin's heartstrings now. You're speaking Justin's love language.
Had me at My Bloody Valentine. No, I'm just kidding.
Yep.
Dude, yes.
I enjoy them both, yeah.
I love them both. I rewatched them both this past February. Yeah, I mean, I didn't mean to take like the floor off of you, like you're talking about this, but no, I just have a passion for these movies. I have always thought, like, if they did a sequel to the original, that it would take place present time, and you had, the 2 main characters from the original. They're now parents to some kids, or they're still living in the town, and instead of Harry Warden coming back, you had what's his name? Drawing a blank on his name. The character in the TJ. What was his name?
I don't know.
Axel. There we
Axel,
go.
yeah.
Axel coming back and wreaking havoc. Like, the way that movie ends, like, he just disappears. Sarah, be my bloody Valentine. Like, was such a great ending. And then
they switched it up for the remake, which I was like, it was freaking awesome.
I love that. That remake is so good. Underrated now. Like, you don't hear many people talk about it like they used to. And it came out, they should have released it in February. I know why they did the Friday the 13th in February, because it, came out on Friday the 13th. But I think if the movie would have came out in February, I think My Bloody Valentine 3D would have been a bigger hit. But yeah, a sequel to that I'd be really down with.
That's I figured you got I knew as soon as Cody said that, Justin was gonna be like, you're damn right.
Saturn Video, I have not.
I wanted to say to anybody in the chat, if you are somebody that was unfortunately spoiled with Scream 6 ending, I'll just say this to any of you that are deterred now or kind of disappointed. To me, and maybe this is just me, the reveal's never been the coolest thing for me. It's the why. The motivation has always been the coolest thing to me, because what was cooler in Scream 3? When you found out it was Roman, or when you found out why it was Roman? It's obviously why. Now, the why pissed a lot of people off too, but the why was so much more interesting in that movie than who. So you could show me this is the killer in Scream 6, and I'd be like, okay, but why'd they do it? What's their connection? What are they after here? Like, is there some familial lineage? Is there a tie back to Sydney? Like that's what intrigues me more. So if you guys unfortunately were spoiled by it, don't let that deter you from going in there, because you it's still a mystery. Yeah, even if
Go
you know
watch
who it is, why are they doing it though? Like, why would they do this? So that's the coolest thing to me. Like, I pegged Amber from a mile away in Scream 5. A mile away. I knew within 10 minutes of that movie, she's one of the killers. So when it was revealed, but still her reveal was really cool, how she just pulled out the gun and shot Liv in the head out of nowhere. And then finding out the why. I was surprised by Richie. I absolutely was surprised by Richie. But yeah. So don't let that deter you. But Justin, go ahead, Cody. Go ahead.
So after Scream 5 came out, a lot of people were like, I'm so sick of the 20-minute monologue of why the killer did it. I was like, that's my favorite part, It's that 20-minute monologue of why they did it.
And a lot of Christian has given those movies shit about that too. And like, I get why some people are like over that, but to me, that's a hallmark of Scream. Like, I go into a Scream movie, any of them. Like, I go into a Scream movie knowing when we get into this third act, there's going to be a reveal and there's going to be 15 minutes of monologue before somebody dies. Like, and I'm cool with that because
same here.
That monologue is the perfect opportunity to explain why. Like, you need to make me believe that you would commit these murders. Like, that's why in Scream 3, super believable. Roman had every reason to be that angry. Yeah,
and like the connection between them all. It was a great ending to a trilogy.
I think that's a big reason why Scream 4 is kind of slid down to my least favorite in the series. Although I like all 5 of them, Jill was, to me, it wasn't believable. Like, this was your reason for killing all these people, that you just wanted to be like your cousin. Like, I get fame makes people do crazy things. I get all of that. And that generation, especially around then, everybody was like, oh, movies and TV and games are making people do crazy shit. But it was just like, Billy, like, his family was ruined. Roman was kicked out by his family because where he was basically cast aside because Sidney got the life he never got. Scream 2, it's obviously Billy's mom, and then Mickey's just a nut job. And Scream 5, maybe a year ago you would go, not really. But then after Halloween Ends comes out, you go, yeah, I could see some fan bases taking this shit a little bit too far. And then 4 is that one movie where I'm just like, I just don't buy Charlie and Jill at all. I just don't. Like, neither one of them would scare me as Ghostface, personally. Like, I don't know.
I think if Jill, I like Emma Roberts, but I think if the dialogue would have been so much better, or the way the way she came off with the lines and the fact there was no tension in that act, I think it would have been better if they would have fixed some of the stuff with it. Like,
it's also the most glaring show in any of the Scream movies of that was not the person behind the mask the entire movie, because when she comes around the corner and stabs Sidney and removes the ghost face mask, seeing her in the robe and the mask, you're like, this looks like a child. Like, as soon as she comes around the corner, you're like, what the fuck is this? I
still say, like, I mean, Scream's ending, the 96 Scream, is such a great ending, but I will say Scream 3's ending is probably
second best.
My second favorite. Like, I know some people are like, I don't like the fact that, like, they tried to disregard what Stu and Billy did when Roman came out and explained all this. I was like, I like that though, because Roman talked to them and kind of led them to do what they did, but they did what they did. So you can't take away. I mean, even without people say Roman disregarded them or whatnot.
Not just that, Justin. Look at Stu. Like, I love Stu. Dude's an idiot. Like, did they strike you as killer masterminds? No.
And Billy, here's the thing about Billy. I think what happened with Billy was Billy's mom. I think he was before he started killing everybody, before any of that happened, he was probably a good kid. And like, yes, what his mom left, but he was trying to cope with it. But then Roman came and just started talking to him a little bit, and that's what made him snap. And
it's the bug in the ear. The bug in the ear. Yeah.
Roman can like talk all this talk, but it's the person that does it that makes them the villain or make them the bad guy. And so like Billy and Stu, you can't take away what they did, and it's a great third act.
Mhm.
But like, I love the fact that Roman was the one that tied it all together. Like, I think that was cool, and it was such a great ending to a trilogy. I'm glad we have Scream 2015 and Scream 4 is all right, but before Scream 2015, I was kind of mad with Scream 4 because I was like, that was such a great trilogy.
Justin, I think you mean Scream 2022.
Oh yeah, whatever.
I'm just making sure because I was like, wait,
I'm going on a rant. I'm just like,
no.
But anyway.
So all right. So look, I'm gonna throw out a couple sequels. You guys just tell me yes or no. Okay. Ones that I want to see. I want to see Trick or Treat 2.
Mm-hmm. I always did, but now I feel like it might just be good just to have one. It's okay to just have this one because I don't want them to go too deep into Sam. Like his backstory, because I like not knowing sometimes.
I don't want them to make a sequel, and it's been such a long time since we've had the original that when the sequel comes out that it's disappointing. Like I don't want it to be just you know what I mean? Like you know how they make these movies and like there's the talk for so many years and then you finally get it after 20 plus years. I'm just saying 20 plus years and the movie's just a disappointment. Like I don't know.
That's what the director said. Yeah.
There's a timing for something, but after it runs its course and we haven't done anything with it, sometimes you just have to leave it alone.
I hear both your points, and I'm gonna just say I'm a whore, and I want it anyway.
That's okay. I mean, I'll watch it.
Sean, thank you very much. I have not seen that yet. I've heard conflicting things, but I'm sure I'll check it out as soon as it comes to streaming or whatever. I'm sure I'll check it out. All right, other sequel ideas. Oh, Child's Play 2019 sequel.
Oh yes, I love it.
I could go for it, but I'm also okay if they don't. Because
now I was going to ask you, Cody, have you watched the TV series?
I love the TV series. Yeah.
Okay.
Child's Play is my favorite franchise.
Okay.
I love that franchise.
Yeah. Oh, was Alexis telling the truth earlier in the chat when she said you have a soft spot for Seed of Chucky?
I do. I have a Glendale and everything.
Hey, I have a soft spot. I really enjoy Seed of Chucky.
Yeah.
Isn't your least favorite cult, Justin?
Oh yeah, that one sucks. I'm not a fan. Now, Cody, if you're a fan, I'm sorry, but like I'm just not a fan of that one. Like,
that's my second least favorite. My least favorite is Seed, but I still have love for it.
Yeah, I mean, Seed knows what it is. It's campy fun, and I love it for that. Where Call of Chucky was just a hot mess. Like it, honestly, when I rewatch it, I like maybe the first 30 minutes, and then I'm like, okay, now I know I don't like it. So
I would like them to get away from the multiple dolls.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, because it even in this TV series, look, it's getting to a point where it's like y'all are can we bring this back a little bit? Like this is getting a little crazy. Like I think Don Mancini is going to for the third season. And I have a feeling the third season will be the last season. I think they're just trying because they're going to have a house at Universal Studios, so I don't think they wanted to cancel the show after the second season because it did get lower ratings. So they're like, well, let's that looks bad if we cancel the show and then we have a haunt at Universal Studios based on it. So I have a feeling they're gonna go back and do stuff. I think Don Mancini just wanted to do Glenn justice. I'm sorry if anybody hasn't seen that or not, but they wanted to finish Glenn's story.
I like it.
Yeah, and I liked it too. And and I did see Don Mancini saying that he wants to do a scarier season 3. Because the first season, I loved the first season. And the second season was okay.
Yeah, the second season to me, it wasn't even like the inclusion of a lot of the Seed stuff that really bothered me. It wasn't. It was just like it did not seem focused at all. Like it was just like one episode was this side plot, the next one was this side plot. I'm like, what the hell?
The Christmas episode was really cool to see. I love watching Chucky in Christmas time,
Yeah, Justin, you need to check it out. You need to check it out.
I will.
Okay, so let's see. I mean, oh, you know what? Oh, well, this one is getting a prequel that's already finished, and I have no idea where it is. We haven't heard anything in over a year. I want to see a follow-up, and again, like I said, we're going to get it, just depending on where the hell the movie is, to the Pet Sematary remake. I actually really enjoyed that movie.
So did I.
I did too.
And the prequel is already finished filming. It's been done for like a year now. and it was supposed to drop exclusively on Paramount Plus, and just we haven't heard a word.
I forgot all about that. Isn't it about Jed?
Yep.
Or is that TV show?
Oh, no, yeah.
Sorry,
so, yeah.
I'm getting over a cold, so that's why I keep coughing. I'm so sorry.
Oh, you're good. You're good. I mean, there's a lot of things that, I mean, I don't know. Is there anything that comes to mind for you guys?
I have a whole list.
Shoot it. Go for it.
Sorority Row 2. I don't care what people say. I fucking love, part of my language, I fucking love Sorority Row. Like, I will.
You don't have to apologize, Justin.
I know, but you know.
I don't watch my mouth.
I know, you dirty, dirty boy.
I know.
Sorority Row, I'd love to see a sequel. I hate that movie bombed so much. Like, it did not make any money, but I love it. And it's got a fan base now. So, the sequel to the original Fog, have it take place in that same town, modern time, and you know, a whole group of new people being terrorized by this fog. Because if you guys have seen the movie, you know, at the end of the film that the spirits are still there, so they could do anything with it. And I'd like to see that. Have it have the same moody atmosphere and that atmospheric tone, and I'd like to see that. 1980s The Changeling, I would love to see a remake of that. And you know, with remakes, like movies, like if they remade The Changeling, like The Changeling is a beloved movie for people who have seen it, but not many people talk about it. So you can go and remake that, and then people can go watch the original movie. That's a great thing about remakes, good or bad, and you go back and watch them, the originals. But yeah, I would love to see The Changeling get a reboot. So a great movie, scary movie.
You know, a movie that I never wanted to see a continuation from was The Devil's Rejects. Honestly, I didn't need a continuation. And 3 from Hell, when it was announced, I was like, okay, it's Rob. It's the same people coming back. I'm open to it. And I don't care for that movie. I didn't
enjoy it. I really enjoy it.
I own it, but I haven't seen it yet.
Well, which is your favorite, Cody? House of a Thousand Corpses or Devil's Rejects?
I like Devil's Rejects.
Okay, so then 3 from Hell, you'll probably have more enjoyment from it than I'm more of a House fan. I love Devil's Rejects, but House of a Thousand Corpses is probably my favorite zombie film.
I saw it once in theaters, and that was it. So I need to rewatch it for sure.
Which one?
The House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yeah, that and Halloween 2 are my favorite movies of his. I like when zombie gets really weird. And Devil's Rejects is a lot more grounded, which is why a lot more people liked it, because it is more realistic. So maybe you would like 3 from Hell more, but my problem with 3 from Hell is it just seems like there wasn't anything left to tell. So it's really just an hour and a half of the Firefly gang killing everybody without Sid Haig, though, so it doesn't feel the same. And so it's just kind of like, I don't know. I just felt like there wasn't any story to tell left. But Rob, you know, that's his that's his baby.
What's up? How are you?
Hello. But yeah, so check that out. But I don't know, Cody, are there any sequels? Well, go ahead.
I had 2 more, and then I'll be done.
Yeah, go for it.
2 more. Nick's trying to interrupt me. I'm just kidding. I love you, Nick. I love you, boy. Tommy Knockers. I'm a Stephen King fan, and I know we've had a lot of Stephen King adaptations, but Tommy Knockers. Have y'all seen Tommy Knockers, like the original miniseries? It's now.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
It scared me as a kid. Tommy Knockers is good. Like the theme, Tommy Knockers, knocking at my door, scared me as a kid. So I would like to see Tommy Knockers. And then, Mel's in here. We talked about it. I would like to see a sequel to the 1988 The Blob. So, and I'll wrap it up. So that's those are some movies.
Cody, any sequels that you're dying to see?
So I would love to see a sequel to The Collector or The Collection.
I haven't seen either one of those movies.
They're really good. And they started filming the third one.
Mm-hmm.
Nick.
Yeah, they started filming the third one, but then the shutdown happened, like the pandemic happened.
Mm-hmm.
So they got 2 weeks of filming, and then once everything opened back up, they couldn't get a hold of the producers. So there's just like they have 2 weeks of footage and they don't know what to do. So I don't know. I haven't heard anything since
Devastating
about what happened to it. This was like an interview with the main character.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that. That's
like,
just
dang, that sucks.
There's got to be some company that they could get the funding from. There's got to be.
I'm sure.
Okay. All right. What else? Do you have any others?
I can't think of any off the top of my head.
Okay.
Really?
That's fine.
We mentioned a lot of them, like Pumpkinhead, Gremlins.
I got another one, Hell Night.
I love the ending to Hell Night. Is it Hell Night or Hellfest?
Hellfest is great. Oh, I'd love to see Hellfest. I would love to see a sequel to Hellfest. Hell Night is the one where Linda Blair's in it, and they're like trapped in like that old mansion, and they have to
okay, you're right. Okay.
You know, speaking of which, Justin, I wonder if we're going to see Linda Blair in anything this year. I don't know.
Here she's going to be in Roller Boogie 2.
Yeah, I don't know,
Roller
guys.
Boogie 2 is happening. It's called Back to the Roller. And
you know, maybe some company's trying to keep something a secret. I don't know, but I wonder if we're going to see her in anything this year.
Nick,
anyway,
beautiful lips shut right now.
All right. Well, guys, this was fun. Yeah.
Can I throw something out real quick?
Yeah.
And it's House of 1,000 Corpses. Has anybody? I know the Steelbook's coming out, but have you guys seen that amazing House of 1,000 Corpses 2-disc Blu-ray set that is coming?
Yes, but it's almost $50.
I paid $34.98.
Where at? Amazon. Okay, because when I was looking, I think on Best Buy's website when it first dropped, it was like $46.99 or something, and I was like, I'm not paying that. I can't.
Go to Amazon. Screw Best Buy. No offense, Best Buy, but screw you.
Yeah, actually, screw Best Buy. Their physical media section is pretty much dwindled to nothing in their stores.
But if I had to pick one edition out of the movies, that House of 1,000 Corpses, like amazing artwork, 2-disc Blu-ray set. I'm curious to know what the bonus features are going to be because they're going to load that. What it's going to be like, I'm just so excited for that.
Pretty sure Rob said there's going to be like new interviews, a new making of, new commentary. Yeah.
It does explain, like a month ago, he reunited with some of the cast.
Wonder why.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm involved with it. Shh, don't tell anyone.
Justin's in it. Well, guys, like I said, this was awesome. I really liked this. This was fun. It was nice to have Cody finally on, and
thank you.
Get to put a face to the name. Like I said, we said at the beginning, guys, if you guys haven't yet, check out Cody's channel. It's Dude Who Loves Movies. Subscribe to him. He's a good dude. He started off as a commenter as Lepke Vision Films. And decided, you know what? I'm going to try my hand at this YouTube thing as well. And to anybody that's ever been like that, I know there's a lot of people that love to comment and love to watch, but have never really thought about diving into making their own content. It can be a little daunting at times. It absolutely can. I guess is my message to you, Cody, and to anybody that's thinking about this themselves. Do not care about the views. YouTube's algorithm is awful. You'll have a video, and I keep an eye on my friends' channels, and I saw Cody's Megan review did very well, and he was probably like, how did my Megan review do so well? I just started my channel. That's YouTube's algorithm for you. So it's just, you got to stay consistent. You got to stay, just stay you, do your thing. I'm glad to see that you're making content now, and obviously I'll be in your corner, and I'll get your stuff out there. And guys, check him out. Cody, do you have anything on that you are thinking of doing like coming up, like any video ideas, streams?
I just kind of go as a I just kind of roll with the punches. Like I said, I'm learning what I like to do, what I don't like to do. I'm gonna go see Cocaine Bear this weekend, I believe.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know if I'll do a review or not. But that's the thing is like I did the Megan review. I was like, that's all right, but it did very well. So I'm like, well, maybe I should do another review. But we'll see, because that's the thing. If you don't do what you like, you're not gonna get much out of it, and it's not gonna go that far for you.
Yep.
Hey, dude, 14 years on YouTube doing YouTube, so you got to do what you love.
If I could just tell you a story from experience really quick. And by the way, thank you so much, Chelsea.
Thank you.
I
and Mel,
appreciate that.
You rock.
Well, thank you, Mel. So I did a video last year that I was really, really proud of. And it was a Mike Flanagan, like retrospective, like just how much I love that filmmaker and everything like that. And it like tanked like for my content. Like I think it did like 300 or 400 views, which, is average to below average. And I was like, God, this is like a 30-minute video. I put a lot into this. Like it really bummed me out. And then I did, 2 months later, I did a Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 retrospective, and I did it audio only with just like photos and clips and stuff. And it was like a video essay. It did like 4,000 views. And I was like, holy crap. So it's literally hit or miss. Like sometimes the algorithm helps you out and sometimes it doesn't, but never take that as, oh my God, people don't want to watch this. No, that's not necessarily true. It might just mean YouTube doesn't want to put it out there for people to see it. I can't tell you how many times people tell me, I never got a notification about this video. I never got a notification about this stream. It got lost in my feed. Or you'll even find that sometimes YouTube will unsub you from people. I don't know if you've ever seen that happen, Justin.
It sucks.
It literally happened to me with Cody. He announced his channel. I subscribed to it yesterday when I went to his channel to make sure I got his channel name right for the description of the video. It said subscribe. I was like, oh, that's interesting. So like you always, keep an eye on that too. Sometimes people will fall off and they don't even know they fall off because YouTube, they have this weird thing of where they'll assume people are bots sometimes. And you'll notice sometimes as you gain more subs, like I've had many instances where like I'll lose like 15 subs in a day and I'm like, what the fuck? And then the next day they're all back. And I'm like, oh my God. And I Googled it. YouTube they hold certain accounts for reviews sometimes to make sure they're not bots. Yeah. So it's just, it's a lot.
Because that's what happened with my Megan review. I got about 30 subscribers. And then my next video was like something about 90s comedies, like Dumb and Dumber, stuff like that. And I lost 17 people. So I guess I don't want to see that. They came for me for horror. I started talking about 90s comedy.
I made a Fright Night Part 2 review and I loved it. It was my episode 1 of season 2 retrospective and memories. And it took almost a month for it to get 100 views. And then I made a horror movie collection video and I skyrocketed.
That's what I hear.
Love physical media.
Yeah, that's what I hear. And people are like, yeah, just hold it up and say this. It's like, man, I don't know. This seems boring to do and boring to watch. So I don't know.
It's actually,
people love it.
If it's something you're passionate about, like movies you're passionate about, it's really not boring. Like I can tell you from experience, it's not. Like you're just kind of like, because especially when it comes to Halloween, every year I do an updated Halloween collection video. That's what started my channel. And those videos always do massively well. Like
awesome. Okay.
I always get thousands of views on every one that I do every year. And I love doing it still to this day, going through every one of those editions of the movies that I've talked about 15 times. It's just like, and throughout the years, I get a new one. So there's always new stuff to show. So that stuff's really cool. But one word of advice I would say too, and this is to anybody that's thinking about making a channel as well, based off of how YouTube's algorithm is, be who you're going to be from the very beginning. Because if you try to experiment too much, they're just not going to give your channel the exposure. It's unfortunate. YouTube will put you in a box, and the box they've put me in is Halloween. I make a Scream video, it gets 400 views. I make a Halloween video, it gets 1,000. And that's literally just what they do. And some people say, well, the fan base is bigger for Halloween. That's why. That's not what it is. It really isn't. The reason is, and this is a true thing, you can Google it. YouTube will take what you do, your views, like your highest viewed videos and whatnot, that content. And when you do stuff similar to that, they will put it out there more as suggested to other people. So when you do something that's not like what you normally do, they're not going to do that. So only your subscribers mainly are going to see those videos. So just word of advice, when you're starting, find your niche and just keep hammering away at that niche, whatever it is. Like whether it's a specific genre, whether it's a specific era, whether it's whatever it might be, just find that niche and hammer it home. And once you build up enough of a following, you can experiment more. You want to build up a little bit of a following. That's why now I'm doing like Scream and stuff like that, because that's not what people came to my channel for. But I built up enough of a following to where I can experiment like that and not have to worry about, oh God, what if this video only gets a few hundred views? Well, that's fine. It's different than 2 years ago if I did something and it got 50 views. And I was like, that's not good. So yes, I don't know. I'm rambling now, but just trying to give advice.
No, thank you so much.
My best advice is just do what you love. So, I mean, I agree with Nick, but do what you love. Like, I mean,
I'm just simply.
There's been a couple years I thought about quitting because I was like, I was getting tired of doing the same thing. I love what I do, but like, you know,
The hardest part too about starting is just starting.
Yeah, just starting. Yeah.
Well, that's why it's good to have people in your corner that have some, a following, any kind of following, no matter how large or small. Any view is a good view, whether it's a hate view, whatever it is, it's a good view. Any exposure is good. So to have anybody in your corner that has built any amount of a following, this is when this community shows its true colors. When you bring people on and you put their name out there and you tell people to check them out and you're really in their corner because you would want them to do the same for you. And that's how I've always felt, is like sometimes some of these channels get so big that you feel like they think they're above certain people. And it's like, you were me once too. And you remember what that's like. And if you like somebody's personality or you like their content, I don't care how many subscribers they have, share that with people. Like, don't you want people that you like to find other stuff they like? Like, absolutely. So yeah. I don't know, guys, this last 15 minutes turned into a what to do if you want to be a YouTuber, but that's what we do. We always go off the rails. So Justin and Cody, thank you guys so much.
And Cody, I had to tell her no, but Cher wanted to come on. I was like, "You're not coming on, Cher." No.
She's hammered right now. She's asleep. And she's behind Justin on the floor.
I'm like, Cher, get up. She's nothing.
But and it's funny too, because since I stopped doing my Halloween stuff when November started, I haven't really gained many subs. Honestly, it's probably been like 150 subs over the past few months, but like in October alone, I gained 300.
I was in like a really, like, maybe a year ago. Was that a year ago? A couple of years ago, where I was in this like rut of like my subscribers stayed the same for like months and they did not move. And I think it was because I was not making a lot of content at the time. So I look at this person on the left, or that guy right now, that guy right there, that one right there, that one. Yeah. Look at that beautiful face right there. Oh, Nick. Yeah. And I thank Nick, because Nick really kind of got me into the swing of things of making.
Yeah. Content. I said, Justin, get off your butt and come do live streams with me every week. And he said, fine. And since then, it's gotten you more energized to do more content for yourself. And Cody, don't be surprised if you are a guest on Unita sooner rather than later. We've had Justin on Unita. We've had Lee. We watched a movie. We've had Cody Leach, Dave McCrae. Like, we bring these people on. I'm just letting you know. I'm letting you know you've been a loyal listener for a while, so don't be surprised if your name gets drawn out of the hat to come venture down the rabbit hole with Christian and I. Just I
appreciate that. I appreciate everything you guys have said, and I hope Mel's still in here. But I appreciate, she always shares my stuff, so she, I have a good support system with her. She always tells people to check out my stuff, so I wouldn't be nearly where I'm at if it wasn't for people like Mel. So thank you to everybody who's been behind me and supportive. It's been great.
And Cody, I would love to have you on a retrospective memories episode where we talk about, and it gave me a great idea, drawing The Hand That Rocks the Cradle.
Oh my God. I would love that, man. Dude, I wanted to do a video about Hand That Rocks the Cradle, but then I look up like reviews. I was like 1 to 10 people. I was like, well, maybe, like, I didn't know if it's like people don't like these kind of movies unless it's coming out on 4K. And then that's when it's sexy to talk about these movies.
Well, and that's the niche that Christian has found. Talk about certain movies when they get a 4K release, when everybody's researching them. Yeah, he's found that niche and it works for him. And it's like I said, but just do what you're passionate about, and the views will come, the exposure will come. Just be, I don't know, just be real, man. Like, be real, and always carry each other. I mean, we need to help each other.
And it's crazy too, because everything I've done in my life has always been competitive, and this is not competitive at all. So it's like I'm waiting for like I'm just waiting for the drop off. So just because I've done stand up, I've done filmmaking, I've done all kinds of stuff, and it's so competitive. So it's like it's been great to just be supportive and support other people and have people support you. It's been a great thing. I love it.
Do you have any do you have any content coming up? But like, do you have any like video ideas or anything coming up this week or anything going on?
I'm probably not gonna. I'm working on a Stallone video for another creator. So I filmed it 2 weeks ago, but I have to edit it. And it's I'm probably not gonna do a video this week just because I'm getting over a cold and it's been hard. Like I got better and then I'm it's not going away. So hopefully, like I said, I'm gonna see Cocaine Bear and I'll see how I feel after that. Maybe I'll do a video.
And also you use the shorts function as well. The shorts function.
I have no idea how to do that. So it's something I do want to get into.
Yeah, it is. It sometimes I'll see a movie that I don't want to do a full review on, so I'll just do a quick short. And like I said, I did my Terrifier 2 one right after I got out of the theater because it was so late. By the time I got out of the theater, it was almost midnight. I was like, I'm not doing a review tonight. It got 12,000 views. Wow. So that's a lot for me. So I was like, holy shit. So yes, every now and then, if you're like, I don't have the energy for a full review, just do a quick short. Be like, hey, saw this. This is what I thought of it. Check it out. Put it out on YouTube, whatever. But yeah. Guys, this was really, really fun. Again, check out Cody's channel. And I know a lot of you guys saw. I'm very happy to announce. I've been talking about it on social media. We're going to be having Lisa Wilcox on the Unita Horror Podcast. We are hoping that is Thursday. We are hoping it is Thursday, but I have to get confirmation back from her if she's free Thursday night. But we're going to have her on in the coming weeks for sure. We're both stoked about it. Like absolutely over the moon. Christian's going to put his baby Fred up there for Lisa to see, and it's going to be awesome. I'm really, really excited. She has been really gracious and really kind. She's got quite a big following, obviously, so I was surprised that she, was talking to me, and I was like, holy shit, this is like awesome. That's kind of my job with the podcast is I try to get the guests. So don't let Christian take all the credit for all these guest guys because most of them are me. But he will give me credit for that. But because I'm pretty persistent in the DMs. But I'm very excited about that.
Last thing, Fright Night Part 3. I'm down with it.
Yeah, there you go. All right, Fright Night Part 3 is the last one. Guys, thank you so much. Check out Cody's channel, Dude Who Loves Movies. Justin, Cody, thank you. It was a great time. We love you all, and we will see you next week. Bye.